Most people in their 20s earn more than their parents did, yet feel further behind financially than any generation before them. The issue is not income, but that higher earnings without structure amplify both progress and mistakes at identical velocity and speed. A 25-year-old earning $70,000 annually can feel money disappears, while someone earning $45,000 with clear rules quietly builds real security. The difference is rarely discipline or effort. It is direction and clarity, and money follows the clearest instructions it receives consistently. Your 20s are not about earning the most money. They are about learning which decisions compound and which ones simply repeat endlessly. The financial gap opening during this decade does not come from one large mistake, but from absent systems that guide money before emotion. 5 rules applied early and consistently can reshape an entire financial life, because they decide before emotions and impulses ever interfere with logic. His name is Michael Carter. He is 25, lives in Denver, works as a financial analyst, and his decisions are remarkably calm. 5 years ago, Michael earned $2,600 monthly, lived in a cramped apartment, and watched his paycheck vanish without understanding why or how. The transformation did not come from a promotion or unexpected luck. It came from 5 rules he wrote down and refused to break. Michael did not grow up wealthy, but did not grow up struggling either. His relationship with money was shaped mostly by his parents. Money in his household was always tied to emotion and reactions. Payday brought relief, while unexpected expenses brought panic and stress constantly. By the time Michael graduated college and started his first job, he had absorbed one belief about money: that earning well meant security. That belief lasted exactly 6 months of working. His first apartment cost $950 monthly, plus utilities, groceries, gas, and subscriptions, totaling $800 more. He was not overspending or careless with money, but every month his checking account hovered near $200, and nothing ever grew beyond that. Michael did not panic initially. He simply assumed this was normal for someone in their early 20s navigating life, work, and expenses independently. But the feeling that stayed was not stress. It was confusion about why his financial position never improved despite working hard every single day. Money arrived every payday. Money left quickly, and nothing accumulated over time. There was no forward motion at all each month or year. At 20, Michael worked as a junior analyst at a mid-sized financial planning firm in Denver, building spreadsheets and pulling reports for clients. He earned $2,600 net monthly. His apartment was small, located 30 minutes from downtown, with thin walls and unreliable heating systems throughout winter. His 12-year-old car was paid off but required $150 monthly in maintenance and fuel, while insurance added another $110 consistently every single month. Groceries cost him around $320 monthly. He cooked most meals but ordered takeout twice weekly, adding $180 to monthly food expenses without thinking. His phone bill was $75 monthly. Streaming subscriptions totaled $35, and student loans took $320 every month without negotiation or flexibility allowed whatsoever. Utilities averaged $95 monthly. Occasional social expenses, clothes, and random purchases consumed another $200, leaving very little margin for savings or any investments. By the end of each month, Michael had roughly $165 left over. Sometimes $220 remained, but never more than $300 stayed in his account. He kept that money in his checking account where it sat until an unexpected expense appeared, like car repairs, birthday gifts, or higher bills. There was no emergency fund established, no retirement contributions beyond the automatic 3% his employer matched for all participating employees who qualified. Michael was not broke or failing. He was stuck repeating the same cycle every single month, without any forward progress or meaningful growth. If this topic feels familiar, and these stories help clarify financial patterns, liking the video supports more breakdowns like this one in the future. The turning point did not arrive as a crisis. It arrived as a conversation Michael overheard between 2 senior advisors discussing a client's finances. One advisor said something Michael never forgot: "The client does not have an income problem but a decision problem. His money lacks direction." That sentence stayed with Michael for days afterward. He realized he was living the same pattern just at a smaller scale with less income. The following weekend, Michael opened a blank document and wrote down every dollar earned and spent over 3 months, tracking everything. Exactly. What he saw was not a budget. It was a map of his priorities revealed by where money actually went consistently, not where he thought it went. He was spending $180 monthly on takeout he did not enjoy. He paid $35 for subscriptions he barely used at all throughout the month. He had $90 sitting in checking, earning nothing while carrying a $1,200 credit card balance at 18% interest, costing him significantly every single month. None of these were disasters individually, but together they represented a system working against him rather than for him, preventing any real growth. Michael did not try to fix everything at once. He made one decision to create 5 rules and follow them without exception for months. The rules would not be motivational or inspiring. They would be operational and mechanical, deciding before emotions could interfere with logic or planning. Rule 1 was the simplest and the hardest. Pay yourself first automatically every payday, moving $250 into separate savings immediately without hesitation. Rule 2 followed naturally from the first. If he could not pay cash for it and it was not essential, he would not buy it. Rule 3 addressed the credit card balance directly. He would pay $150 toward it every month without exceptions until reaching zero balance completely. Rule 4 was about visibility and awareness. He would check account balances once weekly on Sunday morning, recording numbers in a notebook without obsession. Rule 5 closed the system entirely. Any raise, bonus, or unexpected income would be split. 50% savings and 50% lifestyle improvement, never more. The first month following the rules felt unnatural and uncomfortable. Michael watched $250 leave his account on payday, immediately dropping his usable income. He canceled 2 subscriptions he rarely touched, saving $22 monthly, and cut takeout from 8 times to 3 times, saving $110 total each month. By the end of the month, his checking account sat at $180 instead of $165 before. The difference felt significant, even though small. The second month, the $250 savings deposit happened automatically. He did not notice it leave at all. The process happened smoothly in the background. Month 3 brought an unexpected car repair costing $320 total. But Michael had $780 in savings to cover it without breaking his system. By month 6, the credit card was paid off completely. Michael had $1,640 in savings accumulated, and monthly expenses dropped by $132 total permanently. The rules had not made him wealthy yet. They made his money predictable and reliable, removing stress from every purchase decision he faced daily. What repeated was not perfection or flawless execution. What repeated was structure and consistency, compounding in ways motivation never could achieve alone. Michael noticed something else clearly. His co-workers earned similar amounts, yet most talked about money with frustration or avoidance, constantly stressed and confused. At the same firm, another analyst named Daniel earned $2,720 monthly. He was 21, single, and carried similar student loans as Michael did. Daniel believed in living fully in the present moment. He reasoned his 20s were for experiences, not restrictions or rules that limited his freedom. He spent $940 monthly on rent, $420 on dining and entertainment, $190 on his car, and $340 on student loan payments every single month. By the end of each month, Daniel had roughly $550 left. He kept it in checking, covering gaps when spending exceeded his loose budget. He had no savings account or emergency fund. His financial strategy was to earn more later and catch up then, someday in the future. After 1 year, Daniel had $320 in checking and nothing else, while Michael, earning less, had $3,400 in savings and no debt whatsoever. The difference was not income or effort, it was structure. Deciding once versus making 100 small decisions monthly, repeatedly without clarity. Another coworker, Jessica, earned $2,900 monthly. She saved aggressively, putting away $600 every payday, but had no spending rules applied consistently. Her savings grew to $7,200 in 1 year, but she also carried $2,800 in credit card debt at 21%. Interest had eroding progress significantly. Jessica was saving and losing money simultaneously. She had discipline in one area and chaos in another, creating mixed results overall with no clarity. 13 months after implementing his 5 rules, Michael received his first meaningful raise. His net monthly income increased from $2,600 to $3,100 immediately. The moment the news arrived, he felt the pull to upgrade everything: a better apartment, newer car, more freedom to spend without tracking. Then he remembered Rule 5 clearly. 50% of any income increase goes to savings or investments, and 50% improves lifestyle, nothing more ever. The raise gave him an additional $500 monthly. Michael immediately automated $250 into his brokerage account for index fund contributions, buying consistently every month. He moved to a quieter apartment with better heating. Rent increased from $950 to $1,150 monthly. The improvement was real, controlled, and intentional. His lifestyle improved without erasing the progress he had built. The raise amplified his system rather than replacing it with chaos or impulsive spending. By month 18, Michael had $6,200 in savings and $3,400 in invested assets. His checking account maintained a $800 buffer consistently without stress. The clarity came gradually over time. Michael realized his financial anxiety at 20 had not been caused by low income at all, but by absent direction. You know the feeling well. Payday arrives, and for a moment, everything seems fine. Then 2 weeks pass, and money disappears without explanation. Michael had lived that loop for years before. The rules ended it by automating decisions that mattered most, before emotions interfered with logic. At 22, Michael refined his 5 rules into a complete financial system. Rule 1 expanded, saving 20% of every paycheck automatically without thinking. Rule 2 stayed firm and unchanging. No purchases on credit unless he could pay the full balance that month, without exceptions or justifications. Rule 3 evolved after the original debt was cleared. He redirected the $150 monthly payment toward his Roth IRA, contributing $1,800 annually consistently. Rule 4 remained unchanged, completely: one financial check-in per week every Sunday, recording balances and reviewing upcoming expenses without daily monitoring or obsession. Rule 5 became the foundation of every career move forward. When salary increased again at 23 to $3,800 net monthly, he applied it immediately. The additional $700 in monthly income did not vanish into lifestyle creep. It split cleanly, with half improving present and half securing future consistently. By 24, Michael married. His wife earned $3,400 monthly as a project coordinator, with her own financial rules similar to his instructor. They merged their systems rather than their chaos. Joint expenses totaled $3,200 monthly, including rent at $1,980 and utilities at $280 combined. Each partner contributed proportionally based on income earned. Michael covered 58% of shared costs, while his wife covered 42% of total expenses consistently. Their combined savings rate sat at 22% consistently. Emergency fund contributions, retirement accounts, and taxable investments all ran automatically without daily attention or stress. At 25, Michael earned $5,900 net monthly after taxes and benefits. His wife earned $3,400, creating combined household income of $9,300 monthly. Fixed expenses remained stable at $3,200 monthly. Discretionary spending, subscriptions, and personal purchases added another $950, leaving significant margin for long-term goals. Michael projected forward 12 months. If nothing changed, their emergency fund would reach $28,000, covering 6 months of expenses completely and securely without stress. Retirement accounts would grow to $52,000 combined. Taxable investment accounts would hold $19,500, generating modest returns, averaging 7% annually, compounding steadily over time. The one-year projection was not optimistic or hopeful. It was mechanical and predictable. based on rules tested for 5 years without breaking. Michael also ran a 5-year projection forward. If income grew modestly at 4% annually and wife's at 3%, their combined net income would increase steadily. If they maintained their 22% savings rate and investment returns averaged 7% annually, their net worth at 30 would exceed $310,000, a substantial foundation. The projection assumed no windfalls, no inheritance, no sudden promotions. It assumed only consistency, applying the same 5 rules repeatedly. Michael does not feel wealthy at all. He feels prepared and calm, with no anxiety on payday or panic when unexpected expenses appear suddenly. His apartment is comfortable but not impressive. His car is reliable but not new, reflecting stability rather than status, focusing on long-term security. At 25, he has built something most people do not achieve until their 35s. Not wealth, but clarity, predictability, and financial peace daily. The 5 rules cost him nothing to implement at 20. They required no special knowledge, no large income, no sacrifice of anything meaningful or important in his life.